NFL mock trade. Atlanta Falcons and Miami Dolphins swap Kyle Pitts and Tyreek Hill. The Miami Dolphins could trade Tyreek Hill to the Atlanta Falcons for tight end Kyle Pitts in a blockbuster deal that could shift both the NFL roster landscape and fantasy football outlooks. The Miami Dolphins have been active on the trade phones in recent days. They recently moved their 2024 breakout tight end, Jonnu Smith, to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a late-round pick swap. This left a massive hole in their passing attack after Smith posted 88 receptions for 884 yards and 8 touchdowns last season. While Miami did send a conditional 2026 sixth-round pick to the New York Giants for the retired Darren Waller and a 2027 seventh-round pick, it doesn't mean Miami can't invest in another tight end. The last time we saw Waller, he wasn't exactly setting the world on fire. As arguably the Giants' top target, he caught 52 passes for 552 yards and 1 touchdown with just 10.6 yards per reception. On film, he looked to have lost a step, and that was before retiring for a year due to a medical issue. He is now 32 years old and will turn 33 on September 13th. With Miami spending so little to acquire him, there's a chance he may not even make the roster. There's another tight end Miami could target. With a need at tight end, a disgruntled, high-priced wide receiver, and a coach who may believe he can fix an underperforming player, the Dolphins could cook up a blockbuster trade with the Atlanta Falcons in the coming days. Miami Dolphins and Atlanta Falcons mock trade. Miami Dolphins receive T.E. Kyle Pitts, third-round pick. Atlanta Falcons receive W.R. Tyreek Hill. Why the trade makes sense to the Dolphins? We don't know for sure how bad things have gotten between Hill and the Dolphins, but there's a chance the situation could become untenable. Hill has spoken out against the team, given up on plays, and has reportedly caused issues in the locker room. There was a time when he was worth the trouble. However, he is now a 31-year-old receiver about to carry a cap hit of around $27.7 million, coming off a year where production significantly dropped. This is likely his last season in Miami anyway, so it might make sense to move on from him now and hand the WR room over to Jalen Waddle as the WR1. If Coach Mike McDaniel was able to do what he did with Smith last season, it's reasonable to believe he could resurrect Pitt's career. Pitts was one of the best tight end prospects to ever enter the league and had a 1,000-yard season as a rookie before logging 3 straight disappointing seasons. Getting rid of Hill could be addition by subtraction for the locker room and the salary cap, while getting Pitts and a third-round pick are pieces they can use for the future. Why the trade makes sense for Falcons. If the Falcons believe they can win the NFC South this year, it makes sense to surround their young quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., with as much talent as possible. Tyreek Hill and Drake London have the potential to form the best wide receiver duo in the league. Hill would likely be on his best behavior with a new team, and is only 1 year removed from a season where he caught 119 passes for 1,799 yards and 13 touchdowns. If not for an ankle injury, he likely would have surpassed 2,000 yards. A fresh start for both Pitts, and Hill could do wonders for both players and both teams. Fantasy football impact for the Miami Dolphins. A change of scenery can only help Pitts, who has fallen off a cliff in Atlanta. If he could step into the role vacated by Smith, he could have a career renaissance. While losing Hill may hurt Tua Tagovailoa's big play potential that we saw in years prior to 2024, defenses have already been taking that away from him, and an athletic tight end could have more value for him. Waddle would immediately enter the high-end WR2 conversation, with his upside being a top 5 fantasy wide receiver. Fantasy football impact for the Atlanta Falcons. Hill's value wouldn't change all that much. He would still be competing with London for targets. The presence of Bijan Robinson in the backfield would give him more big play potential with defenses having to key in on him, but it would also lower his upside on a team that is more run-focused. London would also see his value dip slightly. However, the big winner here would be Penix Jr., who would suddenly have the best weapons in the league with Hill, London, Darnell Mooney, and Robinson on the field with him. The door to Miami has officially closed for Kyle Pitts, with the Dolphins signing a newly unretired Darren Waller. One of the most talked-about trade scenarios of the offseason has evaporated, leaving Pitt's immediate future firmly in Atlanta. For months, speculation has swirled around the Falcons' tight end. When the Dolphins traded away Jonnu Smith, They created a clear need at the position, and Pitt's name immediately surfaced as a prime target. The fit seemed logical, but the cost was always the biggest question mark. Miami was reportedly hesitant to meet the high price tag that a player with Pitt's draft pedigree would command. Instead of pursuing a blockbuster trade for the former number 4 overall pick, Miami opted for a much less costly and safer move, bringing Waller out of a brief retirement. This decision speaks volumes. For the Falcons, holding on to Pitts means keeping a player entering a critical 5th season. With just 10 career touchdowns, the pressure is mounting for him to finally deliver on the generational talent he was drafted to be. So, what does this mean for Atlanta's offense? For now, it means continuity for a young, explosive core. Pitts remains a key piece of the puzzle, alongside running back Bijan Robinson and receiver Drake London. The most significant variable, however, is the arrival of rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr., a new signal caller. Known for his arm talent and willingness to push the ball downfield, could be exactly what Pitts needs to unlock his full potential and silence the critics. While the Dolphins are out of the running, it doesn't mean trade talks are dead forever. Other teams could still show interest, but as training camp approaches, a move seems increasingly unlikely. This sets the stage for a pivotal 2025 season. Pitts has the opportunity to build chemistry with Penix Jr. and prove he is an indispensable part of the Falcons' future. His performance this year will likely determine whether he signs a long-term extension or if these trade rumors resurface next offseason. Can the new connection with Michael Penix Jr. finally turn Kyle Pitts into the superstar everyone expected? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more updates. For now, Kyle Pitts remains a Falcon. The questions surrounding his production haven't disappeared, but with a new quarterback and a clear runway into the season, the opportunity to answer them has never been greater.